In the early morning of February 14th, 1967, a farmer named Claude Edwards walked outside to feed his animals on his property in Tuscumbia, Missouri. And yes, this is another Missouri story, all right? It was cold and still, just like every other morning, until he saw something hovering right above his barn. What he saw in his field was a mushroom-shaped craft resting just above the ground. It wasn't spinning, wasn't flashing, just hovering there. Now, Claude is not the kind of guy that just jumps to conclusions. He cautiously approached this object sitting in his field, and that's when he saw him. Near the base of the craft were these 3 or 4 small humanoid figures, no more than 3 feet tall, with short legs, a green scaly skin, and a waddling walk that made them look like penguins. Claude said that they didn't even seem to notice him at all. They just moved around in a strange synchronized pattern, as if inspecting the ground and collecting samples. They didn't speak, didn't make any sound, and they had no visible faces, no eyes, no ears, just smooth green heads. Now, me personally, I would have ran away. But Claude, he's not like that. He just keeps walking until something stops him. And it wasn't fear, but an invisible force. He described it like he just walked into a wall of air. Like the atmosphere around the craft had turned solid. He couldn't move any closer, so he just stood there, watching these little green creatures just go about their business like they've done it 100 times before. And then, just as quickly as they had appeared, the beings turned around and went back to the ship. There wasn't a visible opening. They just simply entered it. The ship slowly lifted off, paused for a second in the air, and then just shot straight up in the sky. Gone without a sound, a flame, a single trace left behind. Claude walks over to where the craft had hovered around. There were no marks, no footprints, no burned grass, no nothing. It was like the whole thing had just been a hallucination, except Claude, he knew what he had seen. Later on that morning, he told his family and a few neighbors. The story spread quickly. Newspapers picked it up immediately. And UFO investigators came out to hear his account. Claude never changed a single detail about the story and never tried to profit from it. He just wanted somebody to believe him. Researchers eventually nicknamed the case the Space Penguins of Tuscumbia, partly because of how bizarre it sounded, but also because it fit the mold. These weren't typical flying saucer occupants. They didn't communicate, they didn't abduct anyone, they didn't even seem interested in humans at all. Some people that heard the story believed that they're just drones. Others said that they resembled elemental beings from folklore, fairies, goblins, shit like that. Whatever they were, they defied every known pattern of UFO behavior. Claude went to his grave standing by his story. He never backed down and never changed a word. He didn't ask to see something strange. He just stepped outside one morning and met the weirdest visitors Missouri's ever had. Damn it, man.